Welcome to my new channel, The Truths Explained. I'm Hugo Pellegrino Lowe, and I'm a doctor of medicine. Today I'll be talking about an issue that's a little bit weird. The 5 seconds rule. After a month or so of the Friends reunion, there was one image that definitely remained on my head. Joey eating cheesecake literally from the floor. Now let's be honest, can you really eat something from the floor up to 5 seconds? According to kidshealth.com, no. Believe it or not, scientists actually have tested the rule. We're sorry to inform that bacteria can attach itself to your food even if you pick it up amazingly fast. But will your dropped food contain enough bacteria to make you sick? It's possible. And that's why you shouldn't eat food that has hit the floor. Here's what you need to know about the 5-second rule. A clean-looking floor isn't necessarily clean. A floor that looks dirt is usually even worse. But even dry floors that look amazingly clean can have some bacteria in it. Why? Simply because some germs can survive on the floor for a very long time. After 2 years into the coronavirus pandemic, quite sure that we basically learned all about it. So chances are some bacteria are probably still living in your kitchen floor and on the cafeteria floor at the school. Faster is better, and a piece of food will pick up more bacteria the longer it spends on the floor. So food left there for 5 seconds or less will probably collect fewer bacteria than food that has been sitting there for a longer time. But fast may not exactly be fast enough. Bacteria can attach to your food as soon as it hits the floor. That means food left on the floor for just an instant can get contaminated if the conditions are just right. And foods with wet surface, like an apple slice, can pick up bacteria way easily. When in doubt, throw it out. Some bacteria are not harmful, but others can give you awful stuff like diarrhea. You can't see the bacteria, and even if you could, it really doesn't take much to make you sick. So, what are you about to do with that delicious piece of whatever that just slipped from your grip? The safest choice, according to healthline.com, is to throw it out. According to the website, who should be most careful? If you're choosing to roll the dice with the 5-second rule, you may be okay in certain situations, especially if you are a healthy adult. However, there are some who have a higher risk for developing complications from eating food off the floor. This includes young children, older adults, pregnant women, people with compromised immune system. People in this higher risk group should always toss dropped food in the trash instead of eating it. What are the possible complications? According to the latest statistics from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, foodborne disease causes approximately 76 million illnesses, 325,000 hospitalizations, and 5,000 deaths in the United States alone each year. The Centers for Disease Control also points out that at-risk populations are much more likely to develop foodborne illness. The bacteria and viruses that most often causes foodborne illnesses include the norovirus, that's the common cold, Salmonella clostridium, Campylobacter staphylococcus aureus, that is a pretty bad bacteria if you are to get it. The most common symptoms of food poisoning include abdominal pain and cramps, diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, chills, headache. While most of these symptoms will likely resolve on their own, there are times when a foodborne illness can be including life-threatening. Be sure to get medical attention if your symptoms are severe, and if your symptoms don't get better after 3 to 4 days. The bottom of the line is whether you habitually eat food that's fallen on the floor or insists on tossing it. One thing's for sure: there are bacteria all over the place. We simply just don't know how much bacteria or what type. The type of food and the surface your food lands on can also make a difference. A piece of wet, sticky food that falls on a tiled floor is likely to pick up a lot more bacteria than a pretzel that lands on a rug. If you're ever in doubt, we that are medical experts agree that the safest thing is to err, as always, on the side of caution. In other words, if you're not sure whether it's safe to eat something that's fallen on the floor, just for the sake of it, throw it out. But in a nutshell, simply don't be stupid. Don't be like Joey Tribbiani. Just don't eat food that fell on the floor. As always, I'll ask you to support me on Patreon on the link that's on the bottom of the screen. You only have to pay $2 and you get much more things. For example, the behind the scenes of how I make my videos, the technology that I use, and much more. As always, thank you very much for watching the show. If you have any doubt, you can always send me an email at hugo.loh@gmail.com. Thank you very much for watching.